So he's here. Like the Antichrist is here. Like I'm positive the Antichrist is in my house. I'm so scared. I don't know. Let me show you. Hi everyone, and welcome to this very special possessed by the devil Omen episode. So today I will be reviewing every Omen movie, including the first Omen, the new one. Yeah, I know that I usually produce like one episode a week, but I saw this film at cinema, the first Omen, and you know, I just wanted to review that movie as well, but I didn't want to do a separate review just for that one film. So I was like, you know, let's just review every Omen movie. So that is exactly what I'm doing. Also, since I will not be starting with reviewing the first Omen, that will come a little later, I did a get ready with me. So you will see me getting ready to go to the cinema to watch the first Omen, and you will get to see some clips with me and my friends and what they thought about the film, and yeah. So, but that will be later. So if, you know, I suddenly change environments and stuff, don't get scared, don't be alarmed, that's on purpose. But yeah, let's get right into the first film. Okay, so Omen. From 1976, directed by Richard Donner. It's starring Gregory Peck, Lee Remick, Harvey Stevens, and David Warner. The plot. We have this married couple who are expecting a baby. The wife, she's in labor and delivery, and the husband, he's rushing over there, but he's just learned that there's something wrong with the birth. Yeah, something has gone wrong. The child did not make it, and he rushes over to a hospital. His wife doesn't know this yet. So he rushes over, he talks to a priest, and, you know, he's devastated. He knows that his wife will, you know, this will probably break her. And he tells this priest how devastating he finds this ordeal is. And the priest is like, you know what? I have a solution. Yeah. So somehow they adopt a baby, or you know, she doesn't know it, but yeah, they adopt a baby, and she thinks it's the baby she delivered, and you know, they live happily ever after. They did not. No, but yeah, they are raising this child, and while raising this child, the father, he realizes that this child might be the devil. Like the actual devil. Not like when people say, you know, my kid is the devil. The actual Antichrist. Yay! I saw Omen for the first time like a really long time ago. And now, you know, seeing the first Omen, it really piqued my interest to rewatch all of them. And so yeah, I rewatched Omen, and I just realized what a fantastic film it is. I don't think that I appreciated it enough the first time I watched it. But now I just see all the details, all how it's filmed. I really like the cinematography. I think it adds a lot. It's definitely, it kind of adds to all the, you know, satanic and religious aspect of the film. I also think that every actor did such an amazing job, and the kid did a really good job as well, because I really believed that he was the Antichrist, that he was, you know, super evil. He could just give a look and that will be like convincing enough. I read that the director Richard Donner, he to get like the authentic looks from the kid, because you know, they might be a bit harder to direct. He actually like made him angry and stuff on purpose, like when he had, you know, that fizzlehead about going to the church, when he was, you know, getting angry and screaming. the director had told him like something mean right before filming that scene, so he was kind of angry for real. But yeah, he wanted real like authentic expressions and looks from the kid, and he got it. And I you know, it worked. Every other actor did an amazing job as well, and I do like how this is kind of a mystery that kind of gets unraveled piece by piece. Like with the photographer, I think the photographer, his character just adds so much to the story. You know, when he shows the photographs and the meaning and the small details in the photographs, I was like, ooh. Kind of felt like some CSI shit, you know, when they find that one detail and they're like, ooh. And I was like, yeah, this is good. And, you know, just the way that the people died in this film and how they carried out the practical effects. It looked really good. I thought it also fit the story and the movie really, really well. The director said that what he wanted to focus in this film, he wanted to focus on a family in crisis. Like they were in such a big crisis, like to the point where just insanity takes over. So it's this blend of, you know, dealing with the situation you've never been in before. You don't even know how to deal with. Most people don't know how to deal with that. And, you know, this just drives you to, you know, make really unthinkable decisions. Think really unthinkable thoughts that you probably wouldn't have before. But then, you know, that you have to make really hard decisions, which you never thought you had to make before. So that is what he really wanted to show and focus on. And then the horror, you know, comes with it as a bonus. But yeah, I also read that the movie was supposed to be called The Birthmark. Yes, I think Omen is a much better title. Much more ominous title. I mean, The Birthmark, it almost sounds like it could be a horror comedy, it could be a parody, it could be satire. It does not really make me think about this Antichrist. I mean, of course, the birthmark of the Antichrist 666, but it just makes me think of something more hilarious, like a birthmark that suddenly gets life and is like killing people, saying one-liners. I mean, yeah, please make that movie. And speaking of Damien, you know, the Antichrist boy, he was actually going to be called Domlin, not Damien, because of a director. He knew someone who had this kid called Domlin, and he was just the worst. But I don't remember who, was it his wife or anything, that kind of convinced him to change it to Damien. Damien is also a very good name for an Antichrist, I think. But I mean, it sucks. And you know, whenever you hear Damien, the Antichrist is what pops up in my mind first. So I mean, good job on ruining that name. Or making it better. So if anyone here is watching my videos and your name is Damien, then let me know your thoughts about having your name connected with the Antichrist. But yeah, I do also really like the music. I mean, the music just goes hand in hand with the cinematography and the story so well. And I think it's so exciting. And you know, there are so many characters to just... Everyone is suspicious in this one. You have to be like, oh, is that person on this side or on this side? And you know, what's going to happen? And I just think this film is very exciting. Some might maybe say it's a bit slow, but I think it could be a bit slow in the right way. I mean, it's never a boring film. And yeah, I mean, I could rewatch this again today and be equally satisfied as when I was a few days ago. So, what will I give this movie? How many Antichrists will it get? I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Yeah. So 9 out of 10, that is an amazing grade. I think I gave this one a 6 out of 10 the first time I watched it, and now I rewatched it and I was like, Sarah, are you crazy? this is definitely a 9 out of 10. I think it's a really good film about the Antichrist. Okay, let's move on to review number 2. Okay, so now I'm moving on to reviewing Omen II. Omen II is from 1978. It is directed by Don Taylor and Mike Hodges. It's starring William Holden, Lee Grant, Jonathan Scott Taylor, and Robert Foxworth. Okay, so in this one, Damien, he is about to turn 13. He doesn't really know or understand who he is quite yet, but he is on a path and a journey to discover who he is. And then there are also, of course, people trying to get rid of him, who know who he is. Both people who are rooting for him and people who are against him. When I rewatched this, I did not remember anything at all. I just remembering that Damon, that this was a few years after the first Omen, and yeah, I remember something with military school or something, because Damon kind of goes to one of those schools, and in that school he has someone who wants him to learn about who he is. We also get those typical a bully type situation, like some kid is mean to him at school, but he can easily get revenge because he's the devil. And also his cousin goes there, and his cousin, he does not know about his true identity, and he's like, what's going on, bro? Why can you make people like hurt themselves? What? Yeah, I don't think this movie is as exciting as the first one. Like the pacing of the first film isn't really there, but I do like Damon in this one. I do like the looks and expressions as well. I think he did a good job, but not a lot of the characters, like, they aren't as good or interesting as the characters in the first one. Even though Damon is about to discover like who he is and discover his true power and really understand the meaning behind it, I don't find it as exciting or as good as the first one. It doesn't mean that this sequel is horrible or terrible at all, not what I'm saying. I still enjoyed watching it. I just didn't find myself as intrigued or as fascinated like when I was watching the first one. That is all I'm saying. But there are some really good scenes. Like there was a scene where they were, like the school was, and kids were skating on water. Someone accidentally breaks through the ice, falls down through the ice into the water, and they're trying to save this person. And I think that was really exciting moment. The editing was really good during that moment, but I wished they had even more of these kind of moments throughout the entire film. I don't think that some of the death scenes were good. The build-up was still good, but sometimes I wasn't that invested in the film, unfortunately, as I was in the first one, like I said. But it's still a very watchable film, and I do recommend you watching this at least once. Now, I've seen it twice, and I don't know if I want, I'm not dying to rewatch it again right away, but I might do it in a few years and have another, Omen special. Omen marathon. But yeah, I feel like the Omen deals almost with the same theme and the same struggle in every film, and that is, someone always has to convince someone about Damien's identity, like really hard. Like they have to go through all the evidence again. That happens in every film, and it's understandable. But yeah, it feels like the focus is, will this person believe it, or will this person not believe it? And how will they handle that information? How will they act? There will always be a point in the movies where a character gets confronted with these evidence, and then we're just waiting to see the reaction. It's really on the movie to make, that confrontation, that situation really intriguing and interesting, and maybe to make it just a bit different each time, so it doesn't feel like, oh, here we go again, and we've seen this like 1,000 times. But yeah, with that being said, I think the script was okay. I didn't think it was anything like exceptional or as well written as the first one before this. It feels weird to say the First Omen, because we have literally a film that came out now that is called the First Omen. But when I say the First Omen here, I mean the Omen that was the first movie that came in 1976. So I don't know, it gets a bit confusing. But yeah, so the First Omen from 1976 is what I have to say. And now I kind of lost my thread. Yeah, I was saying that I found the script to be much better developed and written in the First Omen from 1976. So what will this one get from me? Giving it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, still an, okay, fine film. Not boring or horrible or anything. Just not as good or on the level of the previous one. Yeah. Let's move on to review number 3. Okay, so Omen 3, or as it's known as the Final Conflict, from 1981. It's directed by Graham Baker. It is starring Sam Neill, Rosanna Brazzi, Don Gordon, and Lisa Harrow. Okay, so in this one, Damien, he has grown up. He's a fully grown man, played by Sam Neill. And now we see that a lot of people know his true identity, who he really is. Both people who care for him and who wants to see him die. And Sam Neill, Damien, he knows this. He knows that people are onto him. He knows that people want to kill him, basically. And he also knows that his arch nemesis is about to be born. So he does everything in his power to prevent this child, or to just, tries to kill children born on this specific day, just to make sure that his arch nemesis dies. So that is what he's trying to do the entire film. So that is the plot of the film. So yeah, I was really happy to see that Sam Neill was playing Damien in this one. I do remember him playing it, but it was such a long time that I saw Omen 3, so I was happy rewatching it, and I think he did a really good job. I thought he had just the right look to play Damien, like with the expressions, just with the smile, everything. And I also read that Jack Nicholson, Gene Hackman, and Marlon Brando were all considered to play Damien, but then they went with Sam Neill because besides that he did a great performance, they wanted Damien to be a younger man, basically. Yeah, and I think they made a right decision. I think so. I think that this is a bit better than the sequel. I found it more interesting. I just found the editing and the pacing to be much better in this one, and Damien was fascinating. There were like many memorable scenes in this one. The scenes was a television show scene where Damien he was on speaking on a television show, and then we have people trying to murder him during this. So it was very exciting because we have these collective group of monks who's trying to find ways to kill the Antichrist. And you're like, come on, you can do it. But Damien is always like one step ahead. Evil sees and hears everything. Like, no one is safe. Like, people, they think they are safe in this movies when they talk to other people and try to, you know, bring evidence. But, you know, evil, they see them do that, and then it's bye-bye. So, yeah, maybe keep things to yourself. Also, another, like, I wouldn't say funny, but kind of a scene with some dark humor in it. And I'm talking about the fox hunting scene, because they have a ritual called bledding, where someone enters the competition or hunting for the first time, and if they hunt down a fox, they take some of its blood and they smear it on that person to initiate him, so to speak. And I think that was done quite in an interesting way, which I wasn't really expecting, but it was like a cool detail that I thought of that just made everything like, oh, okay. It kind of showed more of Sam Neill's or Damien's character, and it also kind of bonded him with another character, which is also important for this film. So I think that was also one of the strongest scenes in the entire film. Of course, we have, you know, the part where Damien is going around trying to kill like literal newborn babies, you know, which is quite distressing, but you know, he's the Antichrist, his arch nemesis being born means he could die, he could be destroyed, so he has to protect himself from, you know, the newborn babies. And that also, you know, adds a really like stressful and exciting and just, you know, time pressured elements to the film, which makes me really invested in the film. So I was much more invested in this film than in the second film. The second film wasn't a bad movie at all, but this one was just better in, I think, every aspect. And as I said, Sam Neill once again did an amazing job. I just reviewed Possession, where he's the main character with Isabella Gianni, and it was fun, like going from Possession to another movie that deals with possession, but in another way. Yeah, so in another way. But it was fun to see Sam Neill in this one, and yeah, I think they made the right choice for the character of Damien. And also the director, he made a lot of good directing decisions regarding Damien as well. I also read that this movie was released in Germany and Hungary under the name Barbara's Baby. You know, they wanted to cash in on Rosemary's Baby, and reportedly there are still like posters with this title in some countries. So I had no idea, but yeah, I mean, makes sense, because if people who do not really know Omen, but they might associate, you know, Barbara's Baby, oh, Rosemary's Baby, oh, I need to see that one, you know, Rosemary's Baby was a good film, so we need to see that one. So I can understand that, you know, marketing strategy idea, of course. Another fun fact is that according to director Graham Baker, the film slate kind of jammed on slot number 666. Yeah, and it was during filming a scene where Barbara, she sees like a dream vision of her baby being like burnt. So interesting that, you know, it jammed on 666. You know, just an interesting thought, yeah, observation. I find this movie interesting and kept me like invested throughout the entire film. It isn't as good as Omen from 1976, but it's still a worthy follow-up sequel in my opinion, which is better than Omen II. Oh, what will this get? I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Yeah. It's a strong 7. I was thinking about an 8, but it does not feel quite right to give it an 8 at this moment. But a strong 7, I can settle for that. Okay, let's move on to review number 4. Okay, so now we are going to review the number 4 film in the Omen series. Omen IV: The Awakening. It's from 1991. It's directed by Jorge Montesi and Dominique Ottoman Gerard, starring Faye Grant, Michael Woods, Michael Lerner, Asia Vieira. This one we have two attorneys, a couple, Karen and Jean. They adopt a girl, a newborn girl, and then while raising her, they realize, you know, something ain't right. She might be the devil. Yeah, you recognize that thing? Yeah. That is the basic plot of the film. And it is a very simple plot. And I mean, most of, you know, that is basically what the first Omen is about, like from 1976. But I mean, that movie is made, you know, much better. This was actually the first of the Omen movies to be made for television, and it shows, and it feels that way. Like everything just seems a bit different. Also, maybe they got a lower budget, but you know, the cinematography not as clean or crisp or interesting as the first three movies. Just the characters, they are okay. I think the girl who played the demon child, she's named Delia in this one. I mean, she did a good job. I liked her looks and expressions, just like with the previous actors who've played Damien. I think she was believable, in my opinion. The parents, you know, okay characters. They were the performance from the actors, it was okay, it was good, but nothing like remarkable or outstanding. But you know, since this wasn't made for television film, I don't think that is like the most important thing. As I said, the script, basic, okay, you know, works for the moment. But it does feel like, you know, it has a lot of cliches, especially, you know, you kind of guess what's gonna happen, and how Delia, the little demon child, is going to act and do stuff, because she realizes that she is evil. You know, she realizes that she has powers and she can basically kill people or make people do terrible things to themselves. So you know, we can kind of guess where this is going. And also they get like a nanny or someone to take care of Delia, to help take some of the load off from the mom. And we can also kind of guess where that is going. So it just feels a bit cliche, which is such a shame, because I actually didn't find this film to be that bad. It has been like critically very hated, and also because they did not get, you know, such a positive or enthusiastic response, they did not make any more, because the plan was that this was to be one of many like Omen movies made for television. But yeah, they stopped after this one. But yeah, I was like expecting to see something much worse, if I'm to be honest. Like, it's still not like one of the best Omen movies, but I don't think it's horrible. I think for what it is, made to be for television film, it's okay. You know, it works. I wasn't bored. I was just, I kind of knew what was gonna happen. And you know, there was nothing that really special that, you know, made this really stand out, or really compare to maybe the level of the Omen from 1976 or the third one. This is worth watching one time. The death scenes some are creative, but I just wish that they would have shown more. But now that I read that it's made for television film, I get that they couldn't show like a lot, or maybe they filmed it but it was cut, I don't know. But yeah, I wish that they would have shown more, because I mean, the first three movies had really great kills. The effects were good. We got to see a lot of things, you know, lots of slicing and blooding and heads flying. But in this one, I felt that, because there was a scene which is really cool. Someone is driving a car, and then something really nasty happens. And I mean, if they would have just gone all in and really shown everything, that would have been such a memorable scene. And just that effect would have been really, really amazing. In this one, it is the mother who is, beginning to suspect that something is wrong with Delia. And the father, I mean, his character is like barely noticeable. He's just there. Pops up sometimes. Doesn't really do anything special. Like, the focus is all on the mom, the Delia, the other characters around him, but not that. He just seems to be popping up whenever he wants and doesn't really stand out, or, as I said, is kind of remarkable. So I forgot about him and a lot of times, and I was like, oh yeah, there's that character again. So yeah, some characters were definitely not memorable at all. Like in the first three, at least, we got some very memorable characters that really added a lot to the story, to make the story go further and to just make it really interesting. But the dad is like, But I do think that the kid was definitely one of the best parts of this film. And yeah, whenever she was around, I'm like, oh, things are gonna, start happening. And yeah, I think she played it really well because she was really manipulative, like she's supposed to be for this character, and just, the laughs, the smiles, just the thoughts behind the expressions. It worked really, really well. And then I also like that we got like some sort of connection, and how they kind of wrapped it, everything, kind of connected it, and that part I did really like. What will this one get from me? I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10, maybe a weaker 6 than the Omen II, but still an okay film in my opinion. Nothing that I want to rewatch like right away, but I might rewatch it someday. But I found it to be okay. Let's move on to review number 5. Okay, so the 5th review in this episode is, of course, of the remake of Omen. The remake came in 2006. On the 6th of June, 666, yeah. Used, that date release to create, marketing PR, of course, and to gain some publicity and interest in the film, obviously. It's directed by John Moore, starring Liev Schreiber, Julia Stiles, Seamus David Fitzpatrick, David Thewlis, and in a very small part, Giovanni Lombardo Radice. So, I mean, the remake's plot is exactly as the original's plot. So, Schreiber and Stiles, they play the couple in this one, and he hurries to the birth of their son. Something goes wrong, and they adopt, unknowingly for her, the Antichrist, Damien. So, while rewatching this remake, because I saw it in the cinema when it was released, and I really didn't remember a lot, but now rewatching it, I just realized how bland and dull this movie is. It does have a few scenes where the cinematography is really gorgeous, like the scenes where they are outside and then it begins to snow a bit. Those scenes are actually quite gorgeous, but otherwise, comparing to the original, where I talked about the importance of the cinematography in that one, how it really fit in the film, it really just helped the film keep it interesting. And here, it felt mostly bland. It did not really stand out, besides those couple of scenes which I talked about. Also, what made the original so great, like all the aspects, the details, here they are just taking down a notch. Yeah, they're taking down a notch. Like nothing is really up to par with the original. Like nothing against the actors. I mean, I like Julia Stice and Schreiber. He does a good job as well, but they don't really compare to Gregor Peck and Lee Remick. And also the chemistry between, I think between the married couple was better in the original, I think. So some of the build-up for the kill scenes, for just the atmosphere, was a lot better in the original. But I do have to say that the photographer scene was done really well. This scene was so good in this one as well. Another fun fact was when they are going to Rome, the husband and the photographer, to look for Father Spiletto. Yes, they find him, and a fun detail is in this one he is played by, as I said, Giovanni Lombardo Radice, and he's, you know, most known for Cannibal Ferox, House at the Edge of the Park, the blonde, yeah. And he plays Father Spiletto in this one. And I have to say, in the original, when they find Father Spiletto, he has like some burns and stuff. And the makeup in the original, that was the only complaint that I have that I didn't say. But I thought that makeup on him didn't really look that good in the original. But here, the makeup on Father Spiletto in this one is really good. It looks really amazing. It looks quite creepy. In the original, it just felt, you know, it just didn't do what it was intended to do. But here, that is probably one of the few things that is actually better, that minor detail. So good job, good job. I was very impressed. And then, because I didn't realize that that was him, because you don't recognize him at all. But now that I know, I'm like, okay, that's another fun fact. So also good job on that one. The fun fact is the Harvey Stevens, who played Damien in the original, he actually appears in this one. Yeah, right after the nanny scene, then there's a reporter who asks the husband, Thorne, if the nanny was on drugs. And that's him. So that was also a fun fact. I like when they bring in like details like that. It does make it a bit interesting, but those are mostly details that I learn about afterwards. Yeah, so maybe I need to pay more attention. I also read that Pierce Brosnan and Jim Carrey were actually considered for the part of the main character, Thorne, yeah, the husband. Yeah, so, I mean, I was just thinking, like, if Jim Carrey or if Pierce Brosnan would have played that, how would it have been? It might have been very interesting. But, I mean, Schreiber did what he could. And also, you know, Mia Farrow is in this one. And, you know, she played a mother of a devil child in Rosemary's Baby. And here she plays the nanny. And, yeah, she played it well. Her kind of soft and gentleness. Also kind of nice contrast to the kind of evilness. I think she portrayed it well. But as I said, it doesn't feel like a necessary like remake. It does feel a bit dull and bland. Just the technical things, everything is just not as interesting as it was in the first one. So I was just sitting there, I was like, well, I mean, they could have done maybe a completely different Omen movie, continued from Omen IV into something different, and still released it on 2006 and this date, to garner, you know, the publicity and marketing. But just because it feels very like, why we didn't really need this remake. Sorry. So this one, what will we get? Giving it a 4 out of 10. Yeah, so a 4 out of 10. Not a horrible remake, just a very kind of unnecessary bland remake with a few spicy details, which is why it gets a 4. Moving on to the last remake, which is the First Omen, and you will get to see a Get Ready With Me. You get to see us at cinema, you get to, you know, just some extra clips, so enjoy. And I'll come back with the First Omen review after all of that. Hey everyone, today I will be going to the cinema to watch the First Omen. Yeah, So I thought I would do like a get ready with me, and Andres and my friend Yuki will also be there. So I will film a few clips of them, their thoughts, and so on, like I've done in a couple of videos before. Before I'm going to the cinema, I will be dyeing my hair pink again. Yeah, so this has, you know, getting quite light. The color is fading very quickly. So I thought, do I go back to being a redhead again, or do I continue having pink hair? And since I bought a lot of makeup that is like pink lipstick and stuff, and I want to keep using it, then I thought, you know, I'm gonna keep the pink hair just until summer probably. Yeah. Yeah, so now I'm just waiting until the color is setting. So yeah, that happens every time, but I can usually clean this off pretty easily. But yeah, let's do the waiting game now. Ta-da! All colored up. Yeah, it's such an intense pink. Okay, so the First Omen, like I've actually heard a lot of good stuff about this. Like people have been reviewing it and giving it a very good grade, good reviews. So honestly, I don't really know what to expect. I mean, I haven't... Okay, yeah, I saw one trailer, but I barely remember anything from it. But yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I saw the Omen movies. I think I've seen the original like twice, and then I've probably seen the remake twice, but it's been a while. But I actually saw the remake when it premiered here in Sweden, June the 6th in 2006, so it was 666, of course. So yeah, that was quite fun, just because of the date and everything. This is also a fun fact. Like when I was studying film acting in Prague, one of my teachers there, she is actually the one playing the nanny in the remake of Omen. Yeah, her name is Amy, and it was quite fun, like rewatching the remake after knowing this fact, because like I was like, oh, there's Amy. Yeah, you know the line when she says, oh, for Damien, or all for you, or something like that. Yeah, I will rewatch all of them. Honestly, I don't know exactly when I will release this episode, because this will be kind of like just an episode that I will throw in somewhere in the middle of the week, probably. I don't know if it's this week or next week. And when I'm talking this week, it's the week I'm doing the Polish theme, but maybe I'll throw it in the next week. Yeah, I think so. Because I gotta have time to rewatch every Omen film, of course. But I'm doing my First Omen review as soon as I get home from the cinema, because then I will have, you know, everything fresh in my mind. Also very curious to watch this film, Immaculate. You know, it's Sydney Sweeney that has been getting, I mean, just insane reviews and has been upsetting a lot of people. And you know, whenever a movie like upsets people, that is like brutal or goes against something, it kind of piques my interest. I do want to watch it. So yeah, I mean, that would be I think a good like double bill with the First Omen and then watching Immaculate. But I had no idea if Immaculate even is showing in cinemas here in Sweden. Yeah, so I have to look that up. If you have seen the First Omen, then of course you have to let me know in the comments what you thought about the film. As I said, I will be getting hopefully the reactions of my friends after watching it, and we'll see if they like the film or if they will not like the film, because that can be quite interesting as well. And I just love this pink lipstick. Like I've always wore like red lipstick, obviously because of having my hair red like for a long time, many years. But now I'm entering unknown territories. Been using pink lipstick for a few weeks now, and I really like it actually. And this one is quite good because first it's sticky, but then after maybe like 30 minutes or something, it becomes like very non-sticky, so I can like rub my fingers and it doesn't like show on my finger at all. I have like makeup everywhere on my hands, fingers. Yeah, so not the best at applying makeup. Yes, I'm ready to get dressed. Okay, on my way to the train station right now. It's really nice outside. It's not cold at all. A bit windy, but not cold, so I'm super happy. It'll be a nice walk. Okay, I had to buy some duct tape, and if any of you can guess what it's for, please do in the comments. I'm curious to see what you think I will do with this duct tape that I really needed.
For me.
I'm here with Andres. Woo! Are you excited?
I'm really excited for this movie.
Yeah?
The First Omen. Oh my god.
Always excited to watching horror movies at the cinema.
Exactly. It's like the best time to watch horror movie at the cinema.
Yeah, you just quit work today?
Oh yeah, I just actually come from work like for 5 minutes ago, so it's like the perfect time, like you know, after work, just relax, enjoy myself, have a beer. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows what will happen?
Exactly.
It's still very early, so who knows if we even make it home? We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. Cherry vanilla sweater.
Yeah, I took cherry vanilla.
You took cherry vanilla? Yeah, I took just regular vanilla.
Aww.
Oh, I love vanilla. Come on. I'm a sucker for the sweet.
Woo! Damn. Going to be so nice. Are you excited about watching the first Omen?
I mean, yeah, of course. I like the devil.
Who doesn't?
All alone in the cinema! Let's do this! Woo!
So, Andres, what are your thoughts about the first Omen?
Well, we just came out from the saloon, so this is my first thought around the movie. Beautiful picture, music was beautiful, everything was kind of good. It was a slow burn movie, which I kind of like actually. But this ending was like, oh crap, we forgot like put the ending in here, like do the last 20 minutes, like speed run everything now. So I thought that part was kind of like, oh, why so much rush when the whole movie was like a good slow burn. Except for that, I really liked the movie. The actors was super great and everything. I really like it.
So what did you think about the first Omen? First impression?
First impression of First Omen, it's a beautiful shot, devilish, and it doesn't skimp on the spicy scenes, if you know what I mean. Jag skulle säga till David att det är lite gory.
Yeah. Yeah. Good bear. Yeah.
Du frågar och säger så.
Oh my Vegeta sweat! Oh my god!
Du har inte dem eller?
Nej, inte Magic Vegeta.
Vad sa du? Magic Vegeta?
Magic Vegeta. Is Magic Vegeta?
Yeah, I also have a Magic Vegeta.
Oh, you're fucking nasty. You're fucking nasty.
Har du hållit dig ajour med avsnitten?
Alltså jag håller mig uppdaterad bara. make it work.
It was right in my boob.
Kolla här. It's Lord Freezer!
Yeah.
It's a monkeys!
Ja, där nere, ja. Du får tagga dem på sociala medier också.
Okay, everyone, so we have arrived. We're here at the final review in this episode. Yes. Okay, so the First Omen, it's from 2024. It's directed by Arkasha Stevenson. It's starring Nell Tiger-Free, Ralph Ineson, Maria Caballero, Sonia Braga, Charles Davis, and Bill Nye. But in this one, we have a young American nun, or she wants to be a nun. Yeah. She comes to Rome. Her name is Margaret. She comes to Rome to take her vows. But while being there, she discovers that something really disturbing is going on that has something to do with the birth of the Antichrist. And yeah, so this is a prequel to the First Omen, but it's also called the First Omen. So it's a prequel to the original from 1976. Yes. So this takes place in 1971, which is 5 years before Omen was released. I have to say that I had like mixed feelings before going in, because I had read a lot of great and positive reviews about this film. So I was like, okay, maybe they will do something new and interesting with this and not be like the remake that came out in 2006. So I was looking forward to watching this film. And that is why I also wanted to do like a get ready with me and show you some extra things, just to make it extra special. And I have to say that, I mean, the cinematography in this movie is gorgeous. It's simply gorgeous. I think it's the best cinematography of all the movies. And I did love the cinematography in the first one. But this one is, yeah, they really thought that through. And also the music. Amazing music. Just like in the first one. I really love the score in the first one. And this one is just equally amazing music. Really thought that it enhanced every scene. I have to say that Nell, who played Margaret, like at first, okay, rewind. So Nell, at first, she seemed a bit shy, like in her acting, you know, nothing special. She did an okay job, but as the movie progressed, she progressed as an actor. Like her performance, I was blown away by the end. Like towards the ending, she reminded me of Isabella Adjani in a specific scene in the movie Possession. Because she just gave it her all. She was so, you know, free, and she just went there. And that was amazing to watch. And I mean, even I was taking, it felt like I was taking to another like planet while watching that scene, which was truly amazing. I think the girl who played Skiana, she did a very good job as well. And yeah, just a lot of performances were really good, but I mean Nell's performance, that really just stands out. I also like that they kind of reversed some stuff in this. I will not say what, because those are spoilers, but they kind of did some things differently. And you know, of course, the ending, all the connections, everything, how they just wrapped it up, I like that. I mean, it maybe felt a bit obvious that would happen, but it could not have happened in another way. So I like that. So some of the scenes surprised me, because I didn't really know what I was expecting, like gore-wise, or how much they were willing to show. But some scenes, they really went for it, and I love that. And I was like, whoa, they really showed that. Like they had a really kind of amazing, a bit disturbing like birthing sequences, which was just fun to watch. And you know, the actors just did such an incredible job also during those scenes, like which went hand in hand with the gore, with the lighting, with the music, and everything. And it made such a huge impact on me. Yeah, those scenes were really good. So the gore, the blood, it's there. You get to see some of it. And also Margaret, she has this roommate, which is also a very interesting character. Like, there were a lot of interesting characters that I wanted to follow, know more about. I was super invested. And I was really surprised at how invested I was in this film. I was never bored. I know some people have said that they were bored while watching this film, that, you know, not enough happened. And you know, it does build up some stuff. It does take a while before anything like really action-packed happens, but I never felt bored. So I really liked the pacing. I liked how they built up the movie, and you know, the scenes which led to the climax and the reveal. I really liked that, because the first Omen, I saw it before rewatching all of the older Omen movies, so I had forgot almost everything about the Omen movies besides the main plot, of course. So I wished I had rewatched some of the older Omen movies before watching the first one, because some of the details kind of went straight over my head. So, but then afterwards, I was like, when I was talking with Andres and Joachim, I was like, oh yes, oh yeah, of course. So if you want to watch the first Omen, maybe just refresh your memory by watching the first one from 1976, and have to rewatch all of them. But I mean, it's not really that necessary, but you know, it's always fun to get every detail and reference and be like, oh yes, of course. Yeah. Really fun experience. As I said, I think the cinematography, music, acting, story, script, SFX, I think everything kind of worked and came together, and I'm really happy and content with the first Omen. It really took me by surprise. So what will I give the first Omen? I'm giving it a 8 out of 10. So I do recommend you watching the first Omen, especially maybe in the cinema, because you know, the sounds and just everything, yeah, all the senses just being thrown at you. So yeah, I do recommend it. Okay, so this was a long episode, and wow, thank you so much. If you made it all the way to the end, just comment a devil emoji, please do. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate your support and engagement, and if you liked my Omen episode, and please, you know, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It helps me out a lot. And as I said, just comment something. It helps the algorithm, helps, you know, get this channel out to a wider audience. And yeah, so I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you in the next episode next week. Bye.